how do you get fired from being a planet? Okay, well, not exactly fired, more like demoted. That's what happened to Pluto, everyone's favourite ex-planet with a big heart, when it was struck off the list of planets in our solar system and added to the lineup of dwarf planets in 2006. So let's break down what happened. 2020 marks the 90th anniversary of Pluto's discovery by American astronomer Clyde Tombaugh. At the time, the celestial community was over the moon about the new addition to the planet family. Our solar system grew by one, and tiny Pluto was dubbed the 9th planet. Very little changed for Pluto in the 6 decades following its 1930 discovery. That is, until astronomers confirmed the existence of the Kuiper Belt, a gigantic asteroid belt that encircles our solar system and extends just beyond the orbit of Neptune. Most objects in the Kuiper Belt are small and often comprised of frozen substances like water, ammonia and methane, but there are also much larger objects found within its disc-shaped region. As it turns out, Pluto was lucky enough to be the first of these objects to be found by astronomers. Unfortunately for Pluto, however, by the 1990s and into the early 2000s, many other similar planet-like objects had also been discovered. Albion, Araun, Chaos, Charon, Ixion, Lempo, Logos, Varuna, the list goes on. By now, Pluto's ears were burning. Astronomers had begun to discuss what specific characteristics define a planet. Then, in 2005, an object that first appeared to be much larger than Pluto was discovered in the Kuiper Belt. Though the aptly named Eris, named after a Greek goddess of chaos and strife, was eventually determined to be about the same size as Pluto, its discovery triggered further scientific debate about what constitutes a planet. In August 2006, the International Astronomical Union announced that for an object to be described as a planet in the solar system, it must be a celestial body that 1. Is in orbit around the Sun, 2. Has sufficient mass to assume hydrostatic equilibrium, a nearly round shape, and 3. Has cleared the neighbourhood and become the dominating gravitational force in its orbit. Pluto meets the first two criteria. It is in orbit around the Sun and has sufficient mass to keep its spherical shape, but it does not have more mass than other objects in its orbit combined. By failing the third point, Pluto no longer fit the description of a planet and was demoted to dwarf planet, joining the ranks of Eris and Ceres, Haumea and Makemake. News of Pluto losing its status and the new definition of a dwarf planet wasn't received well by everyone. NASA scientist Alan Stern claimed the new definition stinks, and proposed his own idea that every celestial body, including moons, should be considered a planet. Members of the California State Assembly publicly called out the IAU's decision as scientific heresy, while people in the state of New Mexico protested by declaring March 13th Pluto Planet Day. Some folks say that they will always consider Pluto a planet because, well, that's what they've always known. On the contrary, there were many scientists who did support the IAU's decision. Mike Brown, the Caltech astronomer who discovered Eris, said, "Through this whole crazy circus-like procedure, somehow the right answer was stumbled on. It's been a long time coming. Science is self-correcting eventually, even when strong emotions are involved." The debate still occasionally rears its head. In 2019, both Stern and NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine referred to Pluto as a planet, sparking the debate all over again. Now that you know Pluto's backstory, where do you stand? Do you think it should be considered a planet or a dwarf planet?